just got home from work. It's a little after 5 o'clock. I had to stop at the pet store and pick up some dog food and cat food because my Chewy order is running a little behind. I'm not sure why. So I just fed the dogs. This is the sweater from my haul the other day that I wore to work today. It's very pretty, very soft. Loved it. Yeah, so I'm home. My husband is working a little bit late today, so I'm going to put the dog and cat food away. The dishes from last night that I left out to dry. And then we're gonna whip up a little bit of a dinner for my husband and I. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the recipe where you put the boursin cheese in a pan, like in a lasagna pan, a roasting pan. Some cherry tomatoes, I think just olive oil, salt, pepper. You bake it. I forget how long. I'll put that in when I'm making the recipe, and then fresh spinach and tortellini. You cook it. You mix it all up once the tomatoes and boursin cheese are nice and hot and soft and cooked. It is so good, so simple. So I think I'm going to make that with a little bit of a salad for my husband and I to eat tonight. Again, actually, it's 5:30, actually. So I'm just going to get going, and I'll take you along with my Wednesday evening after work. Okay? Let's get going. So I'm just putting away the dog food and cat food that I picked up on the way home from work. You'll see, or as you saw, I bought 2 little toys for them. I usually do that when I head over to the pet store. They love them. Jasmine is the larger dog and Chico is the little dog. Now I'm just putting away the dishes that I had out drying from last night's dinner. I'm gonna do that. I like to just straighten up a little bit before I start cooking. Tonight's dinner is just really fast and simple, as you'll see. I just realized that I needed the colander out, so I took it out. Just filling up the pot to boil the tortellini. That colander, by the way, I've had for almost 30 years. I got it when I got married. One of my favorites, hangs over the sink, and I just can't get rid of it. So the longest part, I think, is getting the water to boil for the tortellini. So I'm getting that on real quick. I'm just finishing putting away the rest of the dishes here. And you can see the ingredients on the counter there, the cherry tomatoes, the boursin cheese, and the fresh spinach. Basically, that's all you need for this, and the tortellini, of course, and a little bit of olive oil. So simple and few ingredients, but yet so delicious. I really hope some of you try this. I can't recommend it enough. Okay, so now I'm gonna get everything prepped to go into the oven. By the way, the oven is, the temperature is 400 degrees. This is the 1 boursin cheese that I'm using, the garlic and herb. And I'm just gonna put that in the center of the roasting pan. I had to get it sniffed because it smells so good. Okay. Gonna wash, or rinse off the cherry tomatoes. I'm using 2 pints of them. You can use 1 pint too. I think I've done that before because I only had the 1 package, but 2 is better. I definitely recommend. I'm just gonna rinse those off, put them on some paper towel to dry them a little bit. When I dumped them out, I saw some of them were kind of like mushed, or I don't know, they just didn't look good, so I kind of just took out anything that I didn't like the way it looked. I get weird like that. Okay. So simple, Just gonna place them around the Boursin cheese. And mind you, the pot of water is on the stove, on the burner. You can't see it. On high, and I salted the water. Always salt your water when you're cooking any sort of pasta. It just flavors the pasta and makes it taste better. Okay, so I'm gonna get these tomatoes in, and then I'm gonna get some olive oil, drizzle it on, and then the recipe calls for pepper and garlic salt over the tomatoes. I didn't have garlic salt, I had garlic powder, so I put some garlic powder, salt, and pepper. I'm just cutting off some of the ends because they had like big like stem areas that just, I don't know, I didn't want it in there, so I cut them off. So just basic olive oil. Give it a nice drizzle on top. Okay, I'm gonna just put some salt and pepper and the garlic powder. Even though it called for garlic salt, same, different salt, and then just garlic powder to give it a little bit of flavor. Not a big deal. As with any recipe, kind of tweak it to the ingredients that you have on hand. Unless you're baking, then you have to follow the recipe exactly. But any other meal, you just tweak it to suit your needs. Okay, and once I do this, I put it in the oven. I didn't get a clip of me doing that. Okay, guys, looks like the water's boiling, so I'm gonna put in my tortellini. Timer's got 2 minutes on it, so I'm just going to cook these for about 3 minutes. So 1 minute after the timer goes off should be fine. Okay guys, see how the tortellini starts to float? That's when it's done. I'm gonna drain this now. Okay, timer went off, 20 minutes in the oven at 400. Looks so good. You see the tomatoes are like, they're really well cooked and soft. So you'd mash them up with a spoon or whatever you have on hand to mash them up with. They do squirt, so be careful. I had a couple squirt. Look at that cheese. It's so good. But see how the tomatoes with the olive oil mixed with the cheese makes such a delicious sauce. So we're just going to get these nice and squished up carefully. Sorry about that camera movement. But I'm now going to add the spinach because it's nice and hot. Just a few handfuls of spinach, and what it does is once you mix it in, the spinach wilts in, and yeah, you have your spinach in there. You could put There was probably a measurement. I just put as much as I want. It does wilt down, so it always looks more when you put it in. But once you get it stirred in there, it wilts and it's not as much, or it doesn't look as much, of course. So you stir that in nice. Make sure all those tomatoes are nice and crushed. Okay, now I'm going to go get that tortellini that I drained. I'm going to plop that in there and give everything a really nice stir to mix all of the ingredients together. Make sure all the tortellini are covered in the sauce and that all the tomatoes are crushed and the spinach is wilted. And that, my friends, is dinner for tonight. Like I said, very simple. The Boursin cheese with the tomatoes, 20 minutes on 400. Little olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic powder. That's it. You boil your tortellini. Just a few minutes until they rise. Really, they don't take very long to cook at all. Plus, you don't want to overcook them. They will get mushy. And, of course, they're still cooking now that they're in all this hot sauce. So you want to take them out just shy of being done. And there you have it. You just plate it up and you serve it. It doesn't need any grated cheese or anything on top, like other pasta dishes do, because the sauce has the cheese in it. And that's it. Thanks for stopping by, everyone, and hanging with me tonight. See you in the next one.